In this video, you'll learn how to set up job types, appointment types, and statuses in Skedit. We'll also cover creating checklists for your technicians and configuring default appointment settings, everything you need to keep your jobs consistent and organized.
First, open Settings. Then click Appointments. Now, open Job Types. Here, you can enter your different job types. In Skedit, your job types are classified as the overall project, while appointment types are going to be the specific thing you will be doing during the appointment. For example, a job type could be a pool cover install, while the appointment type would be installing the rails. To enter your first job type, click Add Job Type. First, enter the job type name. For this example, we'll do System Install. Then click the drop-down under Default Billing and select Invoice, Estimate, or Sales Order. This will usually be Invoice. Under the Active column, you can toggle between active or inactive if you no longer offer that service. If you ever need to view inactive job types, you can click View Inactive. You can add additional job types by following the same steps. Once you have finished entering your job types, click Save. Now, let's enter our appointment types. Click Appointment Types underneath Appointments on the left-hand side. To add your first appointment type, click Add. This is where you can set up your default appointment type information. So whenever you schedule a job and classify it under this appointment type, all of this information will automatically be applied. First, enter the appointment type name. Next, we will assign the status on Complete. This determines how the appointments of this type will be categorized once the technicians mark this appointment complete. For example, if the appointment type is Estimates, you would want this categorized under, quote, Needed. Or if it's a system maintenance, you would want it to be moved to Billing. You can also customize status options, which we will go over later in this video. The Appointment Reminders toggle determines whether or not clients who are scheduled to have an appointment of this type will get an automatic reminder text or email sent to them. Next, set your default duration. This will be how long appointments of this type take up on your schedule. If you have an appointment type that you would like to add a default appointment description, you can do that here. If not, you can leave this blank. You can also enter default notes to the technician if there is anything you want to remind them when they work an appointment of this type. The checklist feature allows you to require technicians to fill out the checklist before they mark the job as complete. To add your first question, click Plus Checklist Question. First, enter your question. Then choose the checklist status. This is what gives the technicians the option to answer either complete, not finished, or both. So, if there are any job types where they can mark something as not finished and still close the job, you'd want to select that. Then, under Sort Order, select which order you would like these questions to appear for the technicians by entering 1, 2, 3, or so on. You can add additional checklist questions by repeating these steps. The Smart List Questions toggle allows you to choose whether or not appointments of this type will appear on the Smart List tracking page. For more information on Smart Lists, visit the Smart List video linked below. Once you are finished entering your information, click Save. As mentioned previously, you can customize your status on Complete options. To do that, click Appointment Statuses. Here you can see the preset list of statuses or any you've chosen to add, along with their corresponding colors. These colors are the color that the appointment will appear on your scheduling calendar as the technician changes the appointment status. To add a status option, first, click Add. Enter your new appointment status and assign a color. You can choose from the pre-selected colors or customize a color. Once you have chosen, click Select. You can then choose if this status shows on the schedule. This is a great way to track next steps for any appointments that have been completed. For example, if you have assigned billing the yellow color, your billing team can look at the schedule and any job that now appears yellow, they will know is ready to be invoiced. You also have the option to set any of these statuses as your default for new appointments by toggling the switch here. You can create notification emails for different appointment status. So if you want your accounts receivable team to get an email when a job is moved to billing, you would do that here. Enter the email address you want the notifications to be sent to here. Once you've entered that information, click Save. Lastly, let's go over appointment options. Click Appointment Options on the left-hand side. The first option you have is to show or hide customer notes. These are notes that the technician can write from the app or that anyone in your office can enter from the back end that will be sent to the customer. Next is the option to enable strikes. This is something that you can use to keep track of notes or comments made about different technicians. These are positive or negative marks that you can keep track of. Here, you can choose to either show or hide the appointment description on the schedule. These are the descriptions that we entered when setting up the appointment types under default description. Enable Job Site allows you to put in an address without having a customer associated with it. However, if you do this, you won't be able to track the job history like you would if you have it linked to a customer. And lastly, the Require Photo option means that the technician has to upload a photo before they can mark the appointment complete. Once you have selected those, click Save.
And that's how you set up job types, appointment types, statuses, and default settings in Skedit. For more tips, features, and step-by-step tutorials, be sure to check out the linked videos.